We're headed into the Runner's World Shoe Lab today with the Inov-8 Trailfly Ultra G 280. It's a new trail shoe from Inov-8, and what's neat about it is they're using nitrogen-infused foam for the first time. Now, it's something we've seen from a bunch of other people before. Skechers has used it, Brooks has used it, a whole bunch of people. But they use nitrogen gas in the foaming process, and what it does is it just takes plain old EVA and makes it a little bit more fun. It makes it a little bit softer, a little bit more resilient, increases energy return, and just breathes some new life into that old compound that we've known for a long time. We're gonna look at the compound of the foam. It's kind of hard to see from the skin over the sidewalls. So we're gonna go into the lab, we're gonna cut this open and see what's happening inside the shoe. Now we've seen Trailfly in a variation before, which was the 300. This was an older shoe. The difference with the 280, it's a lighter shoe. The 280 is an approximate number of grams that the shoe weighs, so it's gonna be a little bit lighter. In testing this shoe, I gotta tell you, this shoe is still pretty firm. It's still a pretty hard ride, and that's typical of Inov-8, right? You're gonna be on soft ground a lot of times in Inov-8 shoes, and so you don't need a lot of extra cushioning from the midsole itself. You do need grip on some of the trails on the soft ground where you are, and that grip stays, that's true to Inov-8. I also want to get a sense of the drop and the stack heights. This feels really thin. Now, Inov-8 says the heel is 33 millimeters, which is pretty good height actually. 40 millimeters is the World Athletics max. It doesn't really matter on trail, but that's a beefy shoe. 33 is a pretty good heel. So I want to find out, is that actually that? And then it has an 8 millimeter drop. So we're gonna find out what the drop is there as well. It feels like the heel is up pretty good on this shoe. I was enjoying that particularly well. It is a relatively soft shoe for an Inov-8. Like I said, it's not gonna be soft. It's still gonna feel firm. That's also gonna give it a really snappy ride on really easy running trails. It's gonna feel like you have a lot of performance underfoot. So I'm gonna fire up the bandsaw. We're gonna get cutting this thing open. With this, we will get right underneath where it needs to be. And this, we actually have to flatten it out and get it to where if the forefoot part of the shoe is off the ground because of the curve, we need to make it so it actually is contacting. So we get to about there. 22.17. Haha. That is exactly why I think that this setup feels a lot like the Montrail Roguefly that I liked, because that had a huge heel lift. This has a 14 millimeter drop as we measure it here in the lab. Inov-8 says it's an 8 millimeter drop. So, I mean, that's a considerable drop. And you can see it when we're sitting here looking at this. I mean, there's much more foam underneath the foot than, in the forefoot where we're at. We're gonna be measuring right about here somewhere. That's not much foam underneath your foot. So that's where I'm probably feeling the firmness of the ride the most, is because that's so thin. But I like having a tall heel personally, and some runners do, some runners don't. It actually makes you kind of feel like you're falling forward a little bit, and that this has it. You're up on this. Having cut this thing open in the lab, it confirmed one suspicion I had, but also kind of proved me wrong. The heel was a little bit thicker than I expected. I thought it was going to be a little thin. The foam's just a little bit firm, but the forefoot is really thin. So the drop was massive. It's a 14 millimeter drop as the way we measure it in the lab. That's steep, a lot bigger than most shoes, but I prefer a tall heel, like I said. So some people might not like that. Regardless, it's a pretty thin shoe in the forefoot. It's still gonna feel nimble, so it's not gonna be this clunky shoe that you might not like on a trail. And you can see that difference between the heel and the forefoot, here in this cut piece. It's curved, so it's not quite truly what you're seeing, but you can see the difference between the thicknesses there. And then you can see the type of the foam. It's almost kind of a spongy material versus like a really smooth uniform material that we see. And then there are little pieces in here that just allow that foam to flex and move a little bit, make it a little bit softer underneath, especially where you're gonna put the bulk of that impact on heel strike. I really like the rubber on the outside. They are still using graphene underneath this shoe. And if you need grip on soft ground, these 4 millimeter lugs are biting. There's lots of edges to grab in. It's actually spread out wide enough that it's gonna shed mud pretty well. You're not gonna have a lot of buildup in there. And it's durable rubber. This thing's gonna last. That's gonna outlast the upper of the shoe, no problem. It's a really neat concept. I'm glad to see that they're using nitrogen-infused foam in their shoes. Just soften things up a little bit, but still give that nice flexible offering that Inov-8's been known for on the trails. Now I wanna know what questions you have. What do you wanna know about this shoe? What other shoes do you wanna see us take a look at? Let me know in the comments below.